Now, we'll get into this with Hugh Douglas coming up in a minute here, but one of the things that's really interesting to me is what happens with the quarterback position. And as we have been saying, it looks like Jalen Hurts, the most obvious statement we can make right now is that Jalen Hurts will be the starting quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles if nothing else happens. Joe Flacco's not beating him out for the spot, okay? Let's an obvious aside. It's been addressed. See you later. I just have this feeling that he is not going to be the starting quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles this year. I feel like there is so much smoke around the league, whether it's Aaron Rodgers, whether it's Deshaun Watson, whether it's Russell Wilson, and the Eagles have the assets, if you will, to make a huge splash of a trade. They have the 3 first-round picks next year, most likely, and even if not, even if it's only 2 first-round picks and a second-round pick, if that Carson Wentz deal doesn't flip with Indianapolis, you still have a nice haul here to fork over for Deshaun Watson, Aaron Rodgers, or Russell Wilson, whoever it might be in the NFL. And they just continue to not say the phrase, he is our starting quarterback. They only talk about it as a competition. I get it to a degree, but as I've referenced before, this isn't Nick Foles versus Michael Vick. This isn't a new head coach taking over with a brand new offense and these 2 different players that would run it totally different, competing to see who will run it the best. Like, it's not like that at all. It's a second-round pick from last year going into a second season in the NFL, and a veteran who is well past his prime in Joe Flacco. And it's a guy that could have very much disrupted this entire franchise, not by any fault of his own in Jalen Hurts, but because the franchise decided to draft a quarterback in the second round when you had just signed your franchise guy in Carson Wentz. So it's a much different scenario. The only reason they're not saying it, I think, is because they're not committed to Jalen Hurts. I think that they are exploring as many options. They're happy with going into the season with Jalen Hurts, but they're not ecstatic. They're not in love with the idea. And I think they are kicking the tires on everything possible right now at the quarterback spot. And when you listen to Nick Sirianni address the media, which we'll let you hear in just a second, it's the first time, I will say this, the first time Nick Sirianni addressed the media after actually coaching. Like, he actually coached rookie camp, right? And then he actually took to the microphone doing it. So he actually got to be in his most natural habitat, if you will, as close as he possibly could be to his natural habitat, where he was actually talking about coaching, from actually coaching the Eagles and not just the inner workings behind the scenes. So I thought that was interesting. It was the most comfortable I've seen him yet. But we'll get to that. But when he's asked about Jalen Hurts and committing past this year, it's something that he throws out the window almost immediately. Here is Nick Sirianni talking about Jalen Hurts and whether or not he is willing to commit to the Eagles quarterback as the starting quarterback for the upcoming season. Take a listen.
Again, we're just trying to get better every single day. And so I'm not even to that point right now of what 2022 is going to look like, to be honest with you. It's about getting better. It's such a long process. And I love the process about it. It's just every single day you got a chance to get better every single day, over and over and over again. And that, yes, that applies for Jalen to get better, and that applies for everybody on our team to get better, a little bit better every single day. And that's all we're concerned about right now, is how we're going to be better tomorrow than we were today.
That's just a long way of saying, nah, I don't know. We're going to go into this year with the idea that Jalen Hurts is a starting quarterback, but it's up for grabs. We're okay with him going into it, but we're not in love with the idea of him going into it. It's not a matter of the quarterback for the foreseeable future. It's a matter of being the quarterback maybe for this year. And if that's what happens and he goes out there and plays really well, then guess what? We might even have more of a haul to go out there and get a pick that we want next year. I think the Eagles' dream scenario, in all honesty, other than Jalen Hurts looks like Patrick Mahomes and they win a Super Bowl, whatever. Other than that, I think the Eagles' dream scenario is that Jalen Hurts goes out there and plays well. Not Pro Bowl level, not great, but good enough to maybe up the ante in a possible trade down the line, where another team will know they're getting at least a serviceable young quarterback that can grow along with a couple of other picks, and maybe the Eagles can bring in another haul, whether that's Deshaun Watson, maybe that's Aaron Rodgers, whoever it might be. I think the Eagles' dream scenario right now, and most likely scenario, is that Jalen Hurts goes out there, plays well this year, and then they're able to flip him in a trade for maybe something better down the line. I think that's what the Eagles might have up their sleeve. But here's what's contradictory, and it's a half joke is what it is. But, yeah, the Eagles might not be sold on Jalen Hurts, but I know they like him more than any other quarterback ever just by bringing in Ryan Kerrigan. So Ryan Kerrigan can't ring the bell of Jalen Hurts this upcoming season.